What's up? This is Empress Leader G coming at you from Divine Intervention TV. And I'm here to just do a segment on epilepsy. I had my first son when I was 17, and he was diagnosed with epilepsy. Till this day, he still have seizures. But I really wanted to talk to you about epilepsy. I was 17. And right now I'm 38, but I was 17 when I had my first son. And a day before he turned a month old, he had his first seizure. And he's been having seizures ever since. But before I really get into it, I really want to just discuss and talk about epilepsy. And so I did look up the definition, and it does say a neurological disorder marked by sudden recurrent episodes of sensory disturbance, loss of consciousness, convulsions associated with abnormal electrical activities in the brain. Now, this is what at the time, that's the first thing you go to, because as a parent, you want to know like what is going on with your child. As a child having a child, I was just completely lost. I didn't know whether I was going left or right. You never think that, you're going to have a child and your child is going to have any type of issues, problems, or anything, and I would never say it was unfortunate, because him having epilepsy has taught me so much. But I really want to talk about three main reasons. And I'm going to say this is my personal journey. Maybe you have your own way of looking at things, but this is my personal journey. So, I hope that, me talking about this can help somebody. But one of the main reasons why, we have children that have epilepsy is, the first reason is we need to stop and pay attention. Now, when I say stop and pay attention, where was your life going before you had your child? What were you doing? How were you acting? What was going on in your life? I know for me, I was cutting up. I was upset. Number one, my father had just up and left and moved to another country. He moved to another country, and I was just a little I was really upset. I'm not gonna say a little upset. I was really upset, because this was like a phone call, like I'm not there no more. I'm here. And I'm just like, you're on a whole nother side of the world. It was just crazy for me. And at that time, I was 15 when that had occurred. But pay attention. It's literally pay attention and stop what you're doing. You have to pay attention to your surroundings, because you're not. I'm literally 16, just fighting all the time. Arguing all the time. I'm mad all the time. I'm frustrated all the time. I was just going through so much at a young age, and I did not know how to express myself at all, except for being violent. And that's how I was. I was very violent. You say one thing to me and I'll bust you in your mouth. I was always fighting, and it could be me and my friends fighting, and I'll be the one that will be picked up by the cops, and I'll be the one that'll end up in the holding cell. You know what I'm saying? And it was just literally, you need to pay attention. Pay attention. What is going on in your life? Now, when I had my son at 17 and he started having seizures, that rah, acting all fool, acting a complete idiot, I couldn't do that no more. I have a whole son who is having epilepsy, and what you gonna do? You gonna run with your friends and go fight? What is it that you doing in your life right now that you feel, if you really sit back and look, you could be like, I could be a better person? And at that time, this is me being 17 years old. I'm not thinking about being a better person at this point because I was going through a whole lot of stuff, let alone being pregnant. But now I have this child who is needing my attention. Now I have this child who needs more love than ever, you know, and it was just like my heart, it was like when I felt as if I didn't love nobody, when I felt as if I hated the world. I have this little baby sitting in my hand, and it was like, you need to pay attention to him. And that's the number one thing I want to say when you first find out that you have a child that has epilepsy. Is like, are you paying attention? And 10 out of 10, I'm going to say, no, you're not, because you're probably living a life that is just out of this world. Who knows what it is that you could be doing. Whatever it is, that, like I said, this is my personal story. But for me, I was just, I was cutting up, ready to fight everything moving, arguing with anybody who spoke to me. I was very defensive. It was just, I was always on attack mode. And I felt like, you know, just my household situation was flipped upside down. It was just so much going on with me. And hold on one second. And so yeah, so much was going on with me. And so I'm gonna say the number one thing that you need to do, if you do have a child that has epilepsy, it's time to slow down and pay attention. That child needs you more than ever. And not only does that child need you more than ever, you're not going to realize that you know, now that I look back, I needed myself more than ever. I was not even in tune with myself. I was not in tune with the universe. I was so in tune on whatever was going on the outside of me. It was never me looking within. Okay? Never me looking within. And that's one thing that I'm telling you. If you have a child that has epilepsy, you're going to need to do some soul searching. You're going to need to go within. You're going to need to meditate and pray. And that's what brings me to my second reason that you're dealing with a child that has epilepsy. You need to meditate. You need to pray. You need to go within. I'm telling you right now, I search for answers on the outside of me, looking for answers for the doctors to tell me. And when you are going to doctor's appointments and MRIs and things of that nature, you realize, you begin to realize that these doctors don't know nothing without you. If you don't give them an update on how your child doing, everything that they do is based off of what you say as a parent. You know, understand what I'm saying? It's based off what you say as a parent. And you realize I'm sitting here talking to this man who got this PhD and he don't know shit. And that's just bottom line. They don't know nothing. They don't know if the medicine working. They don't know anything. They don't know nothing unless whatever you say out your mouth, they go off by, you know, what you say. Oh, well, we could try this. And that's what dealing with a child with epilepsy taught me. You need to go within. I was not in tune with my higher self. I was detached from my higher self. I was detached, and I wanted to go into the spirit. And when we talk about epilepsy, that is the crown chakra. And so let's go to the spiritual aspect of epilepsy. Now, we heard of the definition of epilepsy, but let's talk about crown chakra when it's imbalanced. It says closed-minded, disconnected from yourself, disconnected from higher power, lack of faith, frustrated with life, scattered, forgetful, confused. It says lonely. This is everything that I was going through. But at 17, I didn't know about no damn crown chakra. I didn't know about the 7 chakras. I didn't know about none of this stuff. I didn't know about none of this. It says unable to connect with others. I felt like nobody around me understood what I was going through, unable to connect with others. It says critical of others' spiritual beliefs. Literally, when we sit, and even also when they talk about epilepsy as well, that is when we talk about a disorder, when we come I'm sorry, when we talk about imbalance with the crown chakra, epilepsy is one of them as well. This one in particular doesn't say that, but epilepsy is an imbalance as well. So now you have to understand how you're viewing, like, just as you looking at another person and you go, oh, I don't like that about this person, or I don't like this about the person. Whatever you're viewing about that person, however you feel about that person, you are literally projecting. Where did I put it at? Because I know I set it up here. It says your perception. So your perception of your situation. I've screenshotted this post. It says your perception of me is a reflection of you. So you got to understand, you're looking at your child and you're just like trying to figure out, why is your son shaking? Why is your daughter shaking? Why is she having these seizures? Why is she having epilepsy? And like I said, your perception of your child is your reflection of you. You're holding yourself. My son is sitting here having seizures in my face. And the whole time not realizing this is all my perception of myself. I am detached. I am not connected with God. I am running from my purpose. I'm not understanding that I have a stronger purpose than what the people around me is trying to project onto me as well. You understand what I'm saying? So your child is a perception of yourself. You see what I'm saying? Your child is a perception of yourself. And it's like you're missing it. You're not getting in tune with it. You're not getting in tune with it. And let me tell you, it took me a while. Even though I was going to church and things like that, I still wasn't getting it. Wasn't getting it. I was just lost to the whole situation. I'm going to tell you, I probably learned about crown chakras and heart chakras, solar plexus, and all that stuff when I hit 30. 29, 30 is when I learned about it. I'm 38. So I only known about it for 8 years. Okay. So this brings me into the last thing that I'm going to say. Bottom line, dealing with a child that has epilepsy, the messages get really deep coming from the higher ups. The messages get really deep coming from the spiritual realm. Some I'm gonna say, you have a higher purpose. You have a higher calling that you're not understanding, that you're not answering to. And the message is coming through your child for you to see. But you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. I'm going to say 10 times out of 10, if you're dealing with a child who's having seizures, you were probably considered the black sheep of your family. You've never done nothing like nobody else. You've never even made money like nobody else. You've done things completely different your whole life. You probably dressed completely different from everybody else. You are a natural born leader. Like literally a natural born leader. You are very connected to the higher realm. Like you don't realize how connected you are. You have been protected as well as your child. You have been protected this whole time, not realizing you've been getting messages probably this whole time and not realizing it. I mean, like I said, it took a long time for me to understand my spiritual belief. My beliefs now are completely different from what they used to be when I was younger. I have stepped into my purpose. I stepped into my calling, and my son is 20 now. And yes, when he was 10, he had brain surgery. He did. He had brain surgery, and ever since after he had his brain surgery, he's still on medication. But him having seizures is slim to none right now. Him having seizures is slim to none. But you really have to answer the higher calling. You have a calling. You have a calling. You need to balance your crown chakra. You need to listen because your ancestors, your way showers, God, the angels, they have so much to say to you. They have so much that they want to say. Um, I had to pause that for a minute. These dogs, but yes, you have a higher purpose. You have a higher calling. Like I said, 10 times out of 10, you are a leader. You don't even follow. You probably, even if you did ever work a 9 to 5, you really didn't care about no rules and regulations. You probably respected it because you was there. But you're one of those people that you float your own boat. You don't need you don't need nobody to tell you who, what, when, where, why, and how. You understand? You float your own boat, you create your own reality, and you are a generational curse breaker. And when I say generational curse breakers, you just things that repetitively was done in your generation that you see that your family do, and you're like, what? Why am I gonna do that? They're not getting their results that they're getting out of this is nonsense. So why would I continue to keep doing it? And you're probably the first person in your family that even thought like, and that was for me. There was certain things that was being done, and I was like, no, that's not even giving us no results. I'm not doing that. I chose to go elsewhere. I chose to go a different route. You know what I'm saying? I hope that this message in some way, shape, or form has helped someone who has a child that has epilepsy. Like I said, listen to God, meditate, pray and ask for answers. But you are disconnected in some way, shape, or form, and you need to reconnect because God has a higher purpose and a higher plan for you. My name is Empress Lita G, coming at you from Divine Intervention TV, and you have a blessed day. Ashe.